Welcome to Fairy Tales English Journey. Today we will explore a beautiful story from old Japan. Have you ever looked at the bright moon and wondered who lives there? Our story is about a mysterious girl found inside a glowing bamboo stalk. She is known as Princess Kaguya. Let us begin our magical journey today. Long ago, in a quiet village near the mountains, lived an old bamboo cutter. His name was Sanuki no Miyatsugo. He and his wife were very kind, but they had no children. Every day, the old man walked into the deep forest to cut bamboo. He used the strong bamboo to make beautiful baskets. The old man worked hard to sell his baskets in the local market. His life was simple and peaceful, but his heart felt empty. He always wished for a child to fill his home with joy. He prayed to the stars every night. He hoped that the universe would answer his quiet, lonely prayers. One bright morning, the old man went into the forest as usual. The sun was shining gently through the tall green leaves. Suddenly, he saw something very strange. One bamboo stalk was glowing with a bright golden light. The light was so beautiful and pure. He walked closer to see what was inside it. He carefully cut the glowing bamboo stalk open. To his great surprise, he found a tiny, beautiful baby girl inside. She was no bigger than his thumb. She wore a tiny dress made of silver threads. The old man smiled with great happiness. He gently picked up the tiny baby in his rough hands. He ran all the way home to show his wife. His wife was amazed and filled with deep joy. They decided to raise the tiny girl as their own daughter. They named her Kaguya Hime, which means Princess of the Shining Light. From that day, their small home was filled with laughter and love. After finding the tiny princess, the old man returned to the forest. He started to find gold coins inside every bamboo stalk he cut. The golden coins sparkled in the sunlight. Soon the poor bamboo cutter became a very rich man. He built a large, beautiful house for his beloved wife and new daughter. Princess Kaguya grew up very quickly. In just 3 months, she became a beautiful young woman. Her beauty was like the shining moon. Her hair was dark and silky. Her skin was as pale as white snow. Everyone in the village talked about the lovely princess who lived in the large, beautiful new house. The old man and his wife bought the finest silk dresses for her. They gave her delicious food and comfortable beds. They wanted to protect her from all sadness and harm. Princess Kaguya was very kind and gentle. She loved her human parents very much. She always smiled and sang beautiful, sweet, happy songs. News of her great beauty traveled far across the land. Many young men came to the village to see her. They stood outside her house all day and all night. They hoped to catch a small glimpse of the shining princess. But Princess Kaguya stayed hidden inside her room behind beautiful painted paper screens. 5 very important princes heard about the beautiful Princess Kaguya. They traveled from the royal capital to ask her to marry them. They were very rich and powerful men. They stood outside the gate and demanded to see her. The old bamboo cutter asked his daughter to choose one of these fine, noble men. Princess Kaguya did not want to marry anyone. She wanted to stay with her loving parents forever. But the princes refused to leave the house. They waited outside for many long days. Finally, the princess thought of a clever plan. She gave each prince an impossible task to prove his deep, true, honest love. She told the first prince to bring her the stone begging bowl of the great Buddha from distant India. She asked the second prince to find a jeweled branch from a magical tree on a faraway mountain. She told the third prince to bring a special robe made from the hair of a fire rat. The fourth prince had to find a colorful jewel from the neck of a fierce dragon. The fifth prince was told to bring a special shell born from a swallow. The 5 princes were very shocked. These treasures were famous in myths and legends. But they wanted to marry the beautiful princess very much. The first prince was too lazy to travel all the way to India. He found an old dirty bowl in a local temple. He brought it to Princess Kaguya and claimed it was the magical bowl. But the bowl did not glow with holy light. The princess knew he was lying and sent him away. The second prince asked some clever jewelers to make a fake branch. They used real gold and sparkling jewels to create a beautiful branch. He presented it to the princess with a proud smile. But the jewelers arrived and demanded their payment. The trick was discovered and the second prince ran away in great shame. The third prince bought a beautiful heavy robe from a rich merchant. The merchant promised it was made from the fire rat. The prince proudly brought it to the shining princess. Princess Kaguya threw the robe into the fire to test it. The fake robe burned away into dark ashes, and the prince failed completely. The fourth prince took his ships out to the deep dark sea. He wanted to find the fierce dragon and take its shining jewel. But a terrible storm hit his small wooden ships. The strong wind and high waves almost destroyed them. The prince became very sick and gave up his dangerous, foolish ocean quest. The fifth prince climbed a tall roof to find a swallow nest. He reached into the small nest to grab the magical shell. But he lost his balance and fell to the hard ground. He broke his back and never found the special shell. All 5 princes had failed to complete their impossible magical tasks. Princess Kaguya was very happy. She could finally stay with her dear parents in peace. The old bamboo cutter was relieved too. He loved his daughter more than all the gold in the whole wide world. For a short time, their lives returned to normal. They lived quietly in their large, beautiful, peaceful country home. But the story of the impossible tasks reached the great Emperor of Japan. He became very curious about this clever and beautiful princess. He sent his royal messengers to invite her to his grand palace. Princess Kaguya politely refused the royal invitation. She said she would die if she was forced to leave her home. The emperor decided to visit the village himself. He disguised himself as a simple hunter and went into the mountains. He found the old bamboo cutter house and walked inside. There he saw Princess Kaguya. He was instantly amazed by her shining beauty. He had never seen anyone so lovely in his entire royal life. The emperor asked her to come to his royal court and marry him. He promised her great wealth and infinite power. But Princess Kaguya refused him too. She told him she was not of this world. She could never go to the royal palace. The emperor was sad, but he respected her strong, firm wish. The emperor returned to his grand capital city, but he could not forget the beautiful shining princess. They began to write letters to each other. They shared beautiful poems about nature and life. They became very good friends. 3 years passed in this quiet, peaceful way. But Princess Kaguya began to act very strangely indeed. Every time she looked at the full round moon, she started to cry. Her tears fell like silver rain. The old bamboo cutter and his wife were very worried. They asked her why she was so sad. Princess Kaguya would not tell them the truth. She only cried harder when the bright moon rose higher. The summer passed and autumn arrived. The moon grew bigger and brighter in the cold night sky. Princess Kaguya became more and more sorrowful. Finally, she gathered her human parents together. She told them a great and terrible secret. She explained that she was not a normal human being from this ordinary earthly green world. She told them she came from the distant capital of the moon. She had broken a rule in her heavenly home. As a punishment, she was sent to the earth to live with humans. Her time on earth was now coming to an end. The people of the moon were coming to take her back. She cried because she did not want to leave her loving earthly parents. She had learned to love the simple, beautiful things of the earth. The old bamboo cutter was heartbroken. He could not bear to lose his precious darling daughter. He promised to protect her from the strange people of the distant shining moon. The old man sent a quick message to the great emperor. He asked the emperor to send his bravest royal guards. The emperor sent 2,000 strong soldiers to the village. They carried sharp swords and heavy, strong bows. They surrounded the house to protect the beautiful princess from the mysterious forces of the moon. The night of the full moon arrived. The sky was very clear and full of bright, shining stars. The soldiers stood ready with their weapons. The old bamboo cutter held his daughter tightly inside the house. Everyone waited in deep silence. Suddenly, a blinding white light appeared in the dark sky above the quiet house. A beautiful golden cloud descended from the bright moon. Heavenly beings stood on the soft, glowing cloud. They wore beautiful, shining robes. They played sweet, magical music on golden instruments. The royal soldiers tried to shoot their sharp arrows, but a strange magical force made their arms heavy and weak. They could not move at all. The leader of the heavenly beings called out to the princess. He said her earthly punishment was finally over. It was time for her to return to her true home. The locked doors of the house opened by themselves. Princess Kaguya slowly walked outside. She looked at her earthly parents with deep love and sadness. She thanked the old bamboo cutter and his wife for their great kindness. She told them she would never forget their warm, loving home. She gave them her beautiful silk robe as a memory. She also wrote a final letter to the great emperor. She gave the letter to the brave captain of the guards. With the letter, she included a small bottle of the elixir of life. This magical drink would make a person live forever. She asked the captain to give these items to the emperor. Then the heavenly beings placed a magical feather robe on her shoulders. The moment the robe touched her, she forgot her earthly memories. Her sadness and her love for her human parents disappeared completely. She stepped onto the beautiful golden cloud. The heavenly beings played their sweet music once again. The bright cloud slowly floated up toward the large full moon. The old bamboo cutter and his wife wept bitterly as they watched their shining daughter disappear forever. The royal guards returned to the capital city. They gave the final letter and the magical elixir to the sad emperor. The emperor read the beautiful poem from the shining princess. His heart was filled with great sorrow. He did not want to live forever without the beautiful Princess Kaguya by his lonely royal side. The emperor called his most trusted royal guards. He ordered them to take the letter and the magical elixir to the highest mountain in Japan. This tall mountain was the closest place to the distant moon. He commanded them to burn the letter and the magical elixir at the very top of the tall mountain. The royal guards climbed the steep rocky mountain. They reached the top and built a large hot fire. They threw the letter and the magical elixir into the bright flames. The fire burned brightly and sent thick white smoke up into the dark sky. The smoke floated up toward the distant, shiny, glowing round moon. People say that the smoke from that fire still rises today. The word for immortality in Japanese sounds like the name of that tall mountain. That is how Mount Fuji got its famous name. It is the mountain of immortality. The smoke connects the earthly world to the beautiful, distant capital of the moon forever. Now let us think about the meaning of this beautiful old story. The tale of the bamboo cutter is one of the oldest stories in Japan. It teaches us many important lessons about life and love. It shows us that true happiness comes from simple things. Wealth and power cannot buy true love or peace. The 5 rich princes thought they could win the princess with their great wealth. But they were greedy and dishonest. They tried to cheat to win her hand in marriage. Their lies caused their own terrible failure. Honesty is always better than tricks. The story reminds us to be true and honest in our lives. The old bamboo cutter and his wife were very poor at first, but they had kind and loving hearts. They gave the tiny princess a warm and happy home. Their pure love was more valuable than all the gold in the forest. Family and love are the most precious treasures in the whole wide world. Princess Kaguya learned to love the simple beauty of the earth. She loved the changing seasons and the warm sun. She loved the kindness of human beings. Even though human life is short, it is full of deep emotion. The story teaches us to appreciate our short, beautiful lives and the people around us today. The emperor showed great wisdom and respect. He did not force the princess to marry him. He accepted her choice and became her good friend. When she left, he did not want to live forever without her. He chose to burn the magical elixir. This shows that eternal life is meaningless without the people we love. The smoke rising from Mount Fuji is a beautiful symbol. It represents the eternal connection between the earth and the moon. It shows that love and memory can cross any distance. Even though the princess forgot her earthly life, the humans never forgot her. Her shining memory lived on in their hearts forever and ever. Learning English through fairy tales is a wonderful adventure. Stories like this help us understand different cultures and old traditions. They introduce new words in a magical and memorable way. When we read about princesses and magical moons, our minds grow stronger. We learn how to express deep feelings and complex thoughts in simple English words. You can practice your English by retelling this story to your friends. Try to describe the glowing bamboo and the shining princess. Use simple sentences to explain the 5 impossible tasks. Talk about the sadness of the old bamboo cutter. Practicing these descriptions will help you speak English more naturally and with much greater confidence. We hope you enjoyed this magical journey to ancient Japan. The story of Princess Kaguya is a timeless treasure. It reminds us to look at the moon and dream of distant magical worlds. It encourages us to hold our loved ones close and cherish every single moment. Life is a precious gift we must always protect. If you liked this beautiful story, please share it with your family. Learning together makes the journey much more fun. You can discuss the moral of the story and practice your new English words. Every new story you hear helps you become a better English speaker. Keep listening and keep learning with a happy heart. Thank you for joining us today on Fairy Tales English Journey. We have many more wonderful stories to share with you. Please subscribe to our channel for more magical English lessons. Remember that every great journey begins with a single step. Keep practicing your English and we will see you in the next beautiful story.